I will say this, though. This definitely reignites the argument that all penalties should be reviewable, because if that something like that gets reviewed, they get that first down.
It's a different ballgame, completely, and that is something the NFL is talking about right now. Specifically right now, they're wanting to debate about being able to review pass interference calls. But really, I'm in favor of just reviewing any penalty if there's any sort of iffiness about it.
I agree 100%. 100%. I don't really see the difference between a flag and a play. I mean, it's going to change the outcome of a game either way. It should be reviewable, especially when it's something that blatant. Now, it shouldn't be like any play, they can call in for a review, because, I mean, you're going to find holding on 85% of every single play in the NFL. But
yeah, I think that would be my reservation for doing such a thing like that, is that you can find anything on any given play to the point where you can, have so many challenges that are in scenarios that are just easy to kind of game points for. And I really just think the trepidation in instituting a rule like that comes from that huge gray area of should every missed holding be able to be challenged. Maybe that would, since there are only up to 3 challenges in a game, maybe that's something that's kind of overblown in nature. But I don't know. I can also see it being like coaches don't have a challenge for late in the game because they challenged an early holding that maybe wasn't that beneficial. Maybe the coaches would adapt to that, even though they probably would. So I don't know. Who knows? I think it's just something they'll have to figure out this off season. I don't think they can let this happen again in the playoffs.
Not a fucking chance. I think it would be a move for the better for sure. Especially if they find a way to nerf it to where you find that sweet spot between reviewing everything and reviewing fucking nothing, even though it's blatantly goddamn obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something that really maybe should be taken out of the coach's hands and just let it when it's the last 2 minutes of each half, it goes to the booth. Maybe that's some way they could get around that.
Yeah, I don't think coaches should really be able to challenge a flag like that. Another thing, I agree with you there, that it would have to come from the booth.
Yeah, one thing that they could do is that maybe like a head ref could maybe call for a review. That way, if there's any confusion about a call that was made or a call that was missed, they could, call like a ref's huddle and kind of look at the play and then determine it from there. Now, if it's a scenario where they're looking at a specific call and they say, there wasn't a call for this, but we did see holding on this play, I think you got to let that go, personally. Yeah. But, I mean, I could see something like that.
I think it should be for the specific so-called penalty in question.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is, I have so many complaints personally, and I've heard so many complaints from other people about how long challenges take and how many penalties there are, that this could be something that lengthens the game even more and making more people mad in a different way. I guess there's no perfect situation.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to your preference of, do you want a completely fairly called game that is 100% correct, or do you want what we have now? Which, I mean, there's really no wrong answer here. It's just you got to find the best fit.
Oh,